Hello everybody, I am Rick from WrestleVision here on YouTube, and it is time once again to look through the eyes of the fans and see the potential. This time we're going to take a look at Chad Gable, so let's crack on and get straight into it. Chad Gable is a man of many talents, and I think he ticks a lot of boxes. He can do many things. He can play the face really well. There's a lot of potential for Chad Gable to be a really good underdog on the roster. I know they've kind of touched on that every now and then, but I think there's a lot more to tell with that story because of his size, because of the way that he wrestles, because of his charisma, because of the fans' admiration for someone like Chad Gable. I think there should be a lot more made of that. I think they need to tell a really big little guy versus big guy story with Chad Gable. I mean, imagine a fully, hugely, massively popular Chad Gable versus Brock Lesnar. I know like some people would be like, oh yeah, but the size difference is too great. But I think that would be an absolutely incredible match. And we all know that Chad Gable has like a crazy amount of strength for someone his size. Imagine the tables turning and flipping round when Gable gives Lesnar a suplex and takes him to Suplex City for a little bit, because he's fully capable of it. You have seen Chad Gable give those rolling thunder suplexes to like so many people that are so much larger than him. Baron Corbin springs to mind. We all know that Gable versus Lesnar will never happen. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying that there's a lot of potential for Chad Gable to build up that underdog reputation and face a much larger opponent because of the amount of size and strength that he has to lift people up for those suplexes. I think it will be quite a WrestleMania moment, if in fact. But even then, on the opposite scale, if he was to go to 205 Live, it will be absolutely sick. A couple of years ago, when Gable was coming up and then 205 Live was sort of on the cusp of doing decent things, you would worry about someone like Chad Gable going over to 205 Live, being in wasted six-man tags that are no good. But then since Triple H has taken control of 205 Live, it is arguably the best like week-on-week show that the WWE produce. And I think Chad Gable could have some incredible matches there. Like, there's potential for him to mix it up with large super heavyweights as well as people that are the same size and weight as him. Like, this is what I'm saying about Gable's potential. He can do many things. He ticks many boxes. He wears many hats. So I'd quite like to see him in either situation, to be honest. I think this guy is that talented. He is that good. He can do pretty much everything. And another thing that he has going for him is his comedic timing. So when I'm talking about being an underdog babyface, he can add a bit of humour to that. I mean, the comedic timing is no new thing either. When he was in NXT with the Ready Willing Gable, as he was trying to get Jason Jordan to team with him, that relationship, that tag team, that story was all built from his comedic timing as much as Jason Jordan's. But he can pull those little segments off. Like when they announced Jason Jordan as like the forgotten son of Chad Gable, of Kurt Angle, I thought, Christ, why isn't it Chad? Like, imagine some really good comedy segments between Angle and Gable, because they're compared so much and so often. You think that would actually make a tiny bit more sense. Granted, the whole story is ridiculous, but if it was Chad Gable, he might have been able to pull it off because of his comedic timing, because of his charisma, because of the similarities with Kurt Angle. Obviously they went for Jason Jordan because there were no similarities and it was so out there, it was bound to get attention. But yeah, Chad Gable can pretty much do anything. I'm absolutely sure of it. One final thing I'm going to speak about is Chad Gable's workhorse mentality, and in relation to the Intercontinental title. We all know the IC title is the workers belt, it's the workhorse belt. Everyone wants to be that Intercontinental champion because typically the better workers tend to drift around that kind of area. Obviously there are exceptions to the rule, but I think Chad Gable could have some absolutely phenomenal matches with the likes of Seth Rollins. Say if he was still IC champ, he'd on an open challenge. I think him versus Gable would be absolutely incredible. Finn Balor, who I think should probably be main eventer, but I don't see it. Like Finn Balor versus Chad Gable, there's lots of potential to put on some top-notch matches for that Intercontinental title and give it that wrestling identity. I think that would be absolutely outstanding. And you never know, in a few years' time, if I have my way, Chad Gable will be competing at the higher end of the card as other people start to come through as well. So there are many boxes to tick with Chad Gable. But I'm going to leave on this note and this question. List some dream opponents for Chad Gable if you're into it as much as I am. I'm sure there's going to be people that watch this and think, I don't see the potential. I just don't. I do, and I want to speak to other people that also see the potential in Chad Gable. So list some dream matches. Chad Gable versus who? Yeah, feel free to. This video was a bit more shorter, a bit more punchier. I got a little bit more to the point, mainly because I couldn't think of too many negatives. Like in the Mojo Rawley video, I spoke about a couple of things that might be potentially holding him back. Upon reflection, the things that I listed that are holding him back are things out of his control, so I don't want to focus on that. I don't think there's many things that Gable can't do. Nothing really stands out as, yeah, he really needs to work on this. Initially, I thought promos, then I thought, hang on, how can I speak about his charisma, his comedic timing, and then slate his promos a bit? I can't at all. So, yeah, question of the day. List some dream matches for Chad Gable. And that will do for this video. Hit the thumbs up button for us. Obviously, WrestleVision is a nice brand new project that we're all working on, and we can really do with some support. So please hit the thumbs up button. Please share the video on Twitter. Follow the Vision on Twitter at WrestleVisionYT. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and just get active in the comment section. Yeah, the more participation from you dudes, the better this channel's going to be. We're constantly brainstorming new ideas for new content, fresh ideas, and fresh bits and bobs for you. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Follow the Vision.